Most men spend their entire lives trying to be noticed. They post pictures, they chase likes, they craft clever captions, and waste hours trying to convince strangers that they matter. They talk endlessly about what they want to do, but never move in silence to actually build it. And in that noise, in that desperate hunger to be seen, they forget the one thing that could have made them impossible to ignore. They forget discipline. Discipline is not glamorous. It doesn't hand out applause. It doesn't give you dopamine hits for free. It strips you bare. It demands you show up when nobody is watching, when no one is clapping, when there is no instant reward. That's why most men will never understand it. They'll convince themselves that success is about luck, or about talent, or about being born into the right family. They'll excuse their own failures by saying life isn't fair. But the truth is colder. The truth is sharper. The truth is that success belongs to the man who chose discipline over comfort again and again until it hardened into armor, until it turned him into someone untouchable. Comfort kills kings. And most men every single day choose comfort. When you're addicted to comfort, you never escape the shallow end of life. You wake up tired because you stayed up late chasing meaningless pleasures. You waste mornings scrolling, telling yourself you're resting, when in reality, you're numbing. You confuse talking about goals with actually building them. You run from silence because silence would force you to face yourself. Day after day, you bleed time, the only currency that can never be replaced. Comfort is cheap, anyone can afford it. That's why most men stay stuck where they are. Discipline, though, discipline is expensive. It demands your sleep, it demands your ease, it demands your pride, and that is why almost none can afford it. But the few who do, those rare men who pay the price, become different. They rise above the noise, they stop being reachable, they stop being breakable. Because discipline is not just a habit, it's a code. And if you follow it long enough, it rewires you into someone they cannot touch. Think about it. Most men are terrified of solitude. They crave constant distraction, they need constant noise. But the man of discipline? He thrives in silence. While they scroll through feeds for validation, he uses silence as fuel. While they sleep through the mornings, he is already moving. While they argue, he executes. While they beg, he builds. And here's the part they'll never understand. He doesn't announce his moves. He doesn't crave recognition for every small action. He doesn't beg for applause. Because he knows the truth. When the results come, they speak louder than anything he could have said. That is what separates him. Discipline creates distance. It makes him disappear today, fade into the background where no one notices him, only to reappear months later as someone they can no longer recognize, someone they can no longer ignore. At first they will laugh when you vanish. They'll think you're wasting your life when you choose silence, when you decline invitations, when you refuse to drown with them in distractions. They'll whisper that you're obsessed, that you've gone too far, that you're sacrificing too much. But months later, when they finally see who you've become, those whispers go quiet. The laughter stops, because they realize they were watching a transformation they could never have endured themselves. Discipline is invisible until it becomes undeniable. The early mornings, the cold showers, the heavy lifts, the long nights. They don't notice those. The times you walked alone, the days you wanted to quit but didn't. They don't see that. But one day the results surface, and by the time they recognize it, it's too late to catch you. By then you are already untouchable. What makes a man untouchable is not money. It is not fame. It is not followers. It is the fact that he cannot be moved. He cannot be broken by rejection. He cannot be bribed by comfort. He cannot be stopped by fear. Because discipline taught him to survive when no one believed in him. Discipline taught him to embrace silence instead of running from it. Discipline forced him to strip away every weakness until only steel remained. Brick by brick, choice by choice. He built something that no one else can take. That's why men of discipline don't need to brag. They don't need to shout. Their life is the evidence. Their results are the only proof they require. Picture this. While they waste hours comparing themselves to strangers online, you've already finished your training. While they argue endlessly, you've built something real. While they complain about being broke, you've studied, invested, and stacked. While they escape into weekends, you don't need to escape, because your life is already aligned with your discipline. Discipline gives you a crown that no one else can see, until one day it's the only thing they see. And that crown is not made of gold. It is made of silence. It is made of sacrifice. It is made of scars. It is made of cold mornings where you forced yourself out of bed, of nights where you kept building when every part of you wanted to quit. It is made of decisions no one clapped for, of pain no one witnessed. Cold doesn't care, but if you endure it long enough, it crowns you. And when that crown rests on your head, something changes. You stop being vulnerable to opinions. You stop fearing rejection. You stop being afraid of being left behind. Because discipline didn't just protect you, it transformed you. It turned you into someone who cannot be touched. The man of discipline is not competing. He's not comparing himself to anyone else. He's not chasing approval. He simply builds in silence, brick by brick, until one day he becomes undeniable. And when that day arrives, the world has only two options: respect him or envy him. But they cannot ignore him. So remember this truth. Most men stay comfortable. Most men stay distracted. Most men stay the same. And that is why most men stay weak. But you chose the cold path. You chose the mornings that burned. You chose the nights that tested you. You chose the silence that broke others but built you. And because of those choices, you will walk through life untouchable. But let me go deeper. Discipline is not just about routines, it is about identity. Every morning you rise while others sleep, you are carving yourself into someone different. Every evening you resist the easy escape. You are proving to yourself that weakness no longer runs your life. Each repetition, each cold shower, each rejection endured without breaking. These are not random acts. They are bricks, stacking one over another until a wall is built around you that no storm can shatter. Most men will never build that wall. They'll stay exposed, fragile, craving safety, but never creating strength. And that's why discipline looks insane to them. They cannot comprehend that suffering willingly today can make you unshakable tomorrow. They cannot grasp that silence is not emptiness, it's the forge where steel is made. Understand this. Silence is not your enemy. It is your weapon. The hours alone when no one texts, when no one applauds, those are the hours that separate you. They are not voids, they are battlegrounds. And every time you win there, you walk out harder, sharper, colder. You walk out untouchable. So when they laugh, when they whisper, when they question your path, remember, they only see absence, they see withdrawal. But you know the truth. You are not disappearing. You are constructing. You are not being left behind. You are pulling ahead in ways they cannot measure yet. And when the day arrives, when the results surface, they will understand too late. They'll call you lucky, they'll call you gifted, they'll call you chosen. But you'll know the truth. You weren't chosen, you stayed. Comfort kills kings. Discipline crowns survivors brick by brick. The cold doesn't care. And if you are still here now, it means you already feel it. You already know why most men quit. You already know why they will never see what you're about to see. Because you didn't just listen, you lived. So type it in the comments. Declare it, even if they never understand. Say the words they are too weak to say. I stayed.